Welcome to your weekly inspiration. I'm Joey Sampaga.
And I'm Kathy Beckman.
Woo!
Okay, in case you can't figure it out, this week's inspiration is about roller coasters.
Yes.
And for those of you that haven't read the user manual, that's how you're supposed to ride roller coasters.
That's right.
Your arms in the air.
I used to ride them like this.
Did you really?
I did.
You know what? I love those pictures. Have you ever ridden on the roller coasters
Yes.
and you get the pictures after? My girlfriend, Susan Terry, hey Susan Terry, and I went to California last year, and we were riding, can't even remember what the coaster's name is. It starts with a T at Magic Mountain or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have a picture of it afterwards, and I have a lot of pictures of me on roller coasters, and every one of them looks the same.
Yeah.
I'm going,
Speaking of that, yeah, I know we've done that. My wife and I, Heather. Actually, I may even show those pictures as well, and you can
That'd be
show
great.
yours.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a couple of them going, and there's another.
Every one of mine looks exactly the same. It looks like you just took my head and put it on different coasters. It always looks the same. But Susan Terry is like this, and
That's me.
and I can't help but every time I think of roller coasters, I get giddy. I mean,
Yeah.
I get giddy.
Wow.
And you know, and it's funny because over the weekend, this past weekend, I was at a seminar. I'm laughing so hard, I'm crying. I was at a seminar, and I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people, and it's something that I do every time I meet somebody that lives in Ohio, and I don't care where in Ohio they live. I can't stop myself from saying, have you been to Cedar Point? Do you like Cedar Point? It's my favorite place on the planet.
Yeah.
And I get really excited. And this gal, I met her, and it just so happens that her son is a roller coaster enthusiast.
Wow.
So I was supposed to be helping
Yeah.
like a line of customers. So I was working the bookstore at the seminar. So some people were coming up, and I'm like, $24.95, you know. And I'm like, but what about? So we started getting really excited about it, and they have the newest roller coaster that I rode. I was there in 2000.
Okay.
And kind of a bookend. This is not in the written notes for today, but kind of a bookend. My mother is the one. It's her fault. She got me started on roller coasters.
Okay.
And I thank her for that. As many of you know, my mom passed away in 2000, and I took a road trip back. So we drove from Buffalo to Phoenix. And our first stop, we left Buffalo at 4 a.m., and our first stop was Cedar Point. And it takes 5 hours, so we got there at 9 o'clock, just about 9:30 probably, when the park was opening.
Okay.
And it just happened to be the day that Millennium Force opened to the world, to the public. The day before, they allowed like the photographers and publicists in there and journalism folks in there. But the day that we got there, it was the first day it was open to the public. This coaster is awesome. It's got, I might screw it up, but it's got a 310-foot drop. It's something like 83-degree angle, and it goes 94 miles an hour.
Wow.
So we rode it in the back car, which, by the way, the car, you know, usually when you ride roller coasters, they kind of come up on the side, you know. Not this one.
Really?
Yeah, this one has, the side is open, and it just has, obviously it's safe, but it just has like the T-bar that comes up in your lap.
So it feels like you're not even being held by anything.
Yeah,
Restrained by anything.
yeah. I mean, just that alone, you sit in it, and even the anticipation when, you know, you walk up in the line, and usually for all of you that ride roller coasters, you know, you get up and you watch the cars, you know, people get in, you hear the brakes unlock, and then what happens? It slowly goes out of the stage, and you know, not this one.
Really?
Yeah, not this one. First of all, you can't really see it until you walk up these stairs. So it's only until you're like, there's only 2 riders before you. Okay. Before you get to see how it leaves the station. So you get up there, and then, can you tell I get excited? You get up there, and it doesn't, you know, you put it down, and it takes off like a bat out of hell. It's not, yeah, evidently, I was watching a show this morning. It was the first coaster. They do some kind of elevator mechanism where it actually pulls you and catapults you up.
Wow.
So instead of leaving the station slowly and slowly going up that hill,
It
you
just-
go flying out of there. You go barreling up this hill, and then as you come down, it actually looks like the coaster's going this way. Clearly it doesn't, but because you're going so straight down, it almost looks like you're going back and on itself. It's amazing. And
Well, myself,
yes,
I am afraid to death of
Really?
roller coasters.
really.
You know, even when I was a kid, you remember those things you need to be this height to
Yes,
ride?
yes.
Well, I was always that height, but I would... I'm sorry, I'm too short. But I'll tell you what, once I forced myself to get on, or actually my friends or family would kind of
Peer
force
pressure you in.
Once I got on it, and once at the time it was a chick, and I was like, what am I doing here?
What have I gotten myself into?
See, you were the in the pictures. I'm the that's me. But after I wrote it though, I wanted to write it again.
Exactly.
I wanted to write it again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes, I love it, I love it. But it always took that initial, that push,
Exactly.
and that actual ride for me to say yes.
You know, I thought it was a real metaphor for life.
Yes.
You know, life is a roller coaster. And for those of you that have seen the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin and Mary Steenburgen, you know what? I thought that scene with the grandmother talking about the roller coasters and how when she was younger she used to love going to them and how she, you know, she loved the sound of them and riding on them. And Steve Martin is looking at Mary Steenburgen, his wife in the movie, going, Grandma's nuts. What the heck's wrong with her? And Mary Steenburgen gets really upset. I think she might have thrown something at her. I think she was sewing something at the time, and she's like, I love the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you know, and I remember watching it way back when thinking, you know what, it's so true. We have to, you know, appreciate the ups and the downs. You know, the only way that you get to the thrills of going down on the roller coaster is if you go through the ups, and vice versa. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the yin and the yang. And, you know, I remember telling a friend of mine, she'd always get really upset when she was depressed. Obviously, it's kind of a double entendre, but I used to explain, this is the way I look at it. If you look at a baseline, this is kind of your mood when you're not super happy and you're not super sad.
Okay.
Right? And I look at it as though you can only get this happy if you get this sad.
True.
So if you appreciate that you feel so deeply when you are feeling bad, if you appreciate the depths, like, okay, you know, I can feel this sad, but me feeling this sad allows me to feel this happy.
Sure.
You know, so it goes through the medium, and it's kind of the same analogy with the roller coaster. You know,
makes complete sense.
you only get when you're going this high. Guess what? You have to go. Although on the roller coasters, I like the down.
Of course,
but it's a little bit reversed
it's
in
a
life.
little bit reversed there. It's a little bit reversed, and I completely know what you mean. You know, because we don't understand what true happiness is until we know what the sad is.
Exactly.
Right.
And appreciate it.
And appreciate it, because when you're down here and even just a little up makes you go, woo.
It's better than where I was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, same
How
thing
did that
with,
go? Woo.
Yeah, woo. You know, same thing with this economy. People say, "Oh, this is a down economy." Guess what? There's only one way up.
There's only one way to go, right?
One way to go.
You gave the answer.
I did give the answer. So, you know, in these down economies, I'm kind of taking this a different direction, but in these down economies, we have to appreciate it, and I think this is going to lead to being a little bit more conservative, because we were just way out there before.
Absolutely.
Right? And now we're understanding, okay, even if we just get a little, let's enjoy and let's celebrate it.
Absolutely. And you know what, Joey, it's all cycles.
Yes,
you know, if you look at the Roaring 20s, remember, we were kind of out of control.
Sure.
We were, you know, drinking, partying. When you think of the Roaring 20s, it's the Charleston, everybody kind of doing that.
And then what happened? Yeah, Great Depression.
And then what happened after the Depression? People were a lot more conservative.
That's right.
You know, we took a look at our value system again, you know, and it's the highs and lows. It's the roller coaster that allows us to do that. Yes.
Love it.
So the point of today, though, is to, number one, appreciate where we are. Appreciate that when we're in these dips, like the economy or even days in your life, it's those dips that allow you to appreciate the highs. And just my personal opinion, and I know that you may disagree with this,
Okay.
but I think we need to ride the roller coaster and ride life. How, Joey? So here's to going through life with your eyes wide open, your hands in the air,
That's
and
right.
going, woohoo!
So until next time, go out there and have a
Inspired week.
yes.
Bye.
Your eyes closed. So until next time.
Heavens.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. Do it again. Oh, were we done?
Yeah.
Okay.